Yo, Taurus, what's up, man? What's happening? What it do? We're going to take a little look here tonight and see how things are looking for you in the first week of June. So, if you've been following me for a while, you know that I'm changing it up a little bit this month. I'll try something a little bit different. I want to do some weekly check-ins. I'm not saying that's what the whole month is going to consist of, but I want to throw that in the mix. Actually, that was my wife's idea. And I was like, that's a good idea. So, we're going to see how the energies are looking. Just going to be a short, sweet, general, energetic overview. For those of you who need a personal reading, you can find all the information on how to go about doing that right down here in the description of this video. And for those of you catching this on time, we got just a few more days until my course on how to read the tarot goes bye-bye. June 1st, y'all. June 1st, we're turning that course off. And honestly, I don't even know which one we're going to break out next. I haven't even thought about it. So don't think I have something secret planned or anything like that. When we sit down to turn this course off, we'll think of the next one on the fly. And also, I'm working on a new one now. On a new one that I think is very, very, very important too. But anyway, check the description for the information on that and anything else you need to know. All right, let's jump into this. I just want to get a general energetic overview of the energy surrounding the person that you're dealing with. We're going to keep it sweet and general for these weekly check-ins. Person Taurus is dealing with, what's the energy looking like? How's the energy looking between Taurus and the person they're dealing with? Ooh, some of you dealing with a Leo. Hang on a second. Strength reverse. Oops. Moon reverse. Could be a Pisces for some of you. Excuse me. Okay. Ooh, okay. So, for those of you, okay, so this is getting kind of specific. I'm going to try to see how many different angles I can hit this from, but so far this looks pretty specifically like you're dealing with somebody that you're either not in communication with or communication is very poor. So I'm seeing communication. And probably not a very friendly conversation, honestly. Feels like a very brief reconnection between you and this person. Very brief. Where'd it go? With the Knight of Wands. And Knight of Wands is usually associated with in and out energy. You know, the Knight of Wands in the upright isn't intrinsically a bad character. But the Knight of Wands can tend to piss people off because he's a very flaky individual. Very flaky, very flighty, very fickle, changes his mind a lot, doesn't really know what he wants. You know, he's the type of person to come up with an idea. You know, like, you ever met somebody who's like, you know what, I'm going to start a business. I'm going to start a fucking business and I'm going to be a millionaire next year. And they lay it all out and they're so fired up about it. And then you see him a week later and you're like, so what's up with that business? Nah, never mind. I changed my mind. You know, and in the moment they were serious. You know, they weren't just blowing smoke up your ass. They meant it with every fiber of their being, but you know, they just weren't mature enough to actually follow through. That type of energy. So also too, I'm kind of feeling like there's a third party in the mix here somehow, some way. I don't know if you're finding out about that or what, but I do think that that has something to do with why this conversation doesn't turn out friendly. Let's put it like that. They do want to talk to you, though. I think they have feelings for you. They kind of want to open up to you. But it's like they're really confused and don't know what the hell they want. I think there's somebody else in the mix. and they just flip-flop back and forth, not knowing what the hell they. This person's immature as shit, dude. Immature as shit. We got pages and knights here, but not a single king. So, all right, well, let me look at their intentions a little bit deeper. The signs I have on the table, I got Pisces, Cancer, and Leo. You know, it could be anybody. Those are just energies. Let me look at this person's intentions. What are their truest, deepest feelings, energies, and intentions? Person Taurus is dealing with. They're kind of ignoring the truth about the situation. They don't want to face the facts. They're the type of person, they like to hide from the truth, run from the truth, you know. They may even be the type to just straight up project and deflect when it comes to the truth, you know. I think we've all met somebody like that, right? See, Page of Wands, man. This person's immature as shit. They don't know what they want. They don't know what they want. They're unable to walk away from this, but they don't know what they want at the same time. They see the error of their ways, but they don't want to see the error of their ways. They want to ignore it. They want to turn a blind eye. This person's just very flippy, floppy, wishy-washy, doesn't know what they want. Yeah. It's really hard. When somebody's energy comes through like that, it's really hard to nail it down to a point. You know, because when somebody's that indecisive, trying to describe their energy will just spin you in circles. You don't really get to a point, you know. So, okay. All right, well, let's see the outcome of this situation. Are the two of you going to end up together? Or what's the dealio, Emilio? Hangman. Yeah, I'm not really seeing a lot of forward movement with this situation. Probably just a repeat cycle, to be honest with you. Cycle probably just loop-de-looping around and repeating itself. Yeah, so you're probably just going to make the decision to clear all the toxic energy out of your life. And that very well may include this person, because some of you have already been on and off with this person. But even if you haven't, I think you're getting a really good idea that this is going to be on and off if you keep just playing this game, you know. It's just circling around and repeating itself. Could be a Capricorn for some of you. Let's get the advice then. What's the advice for Taurus? What is the advice? Hey, man. Don't fight a battle. Actually, I think that card, I don't even think I need to pull an advice spread. That card says it all. Okay? Don't fight a battle. That's one thing you should not have to do. And in my line of work, that if I had to make a list of the top 10 most frequently asked questions, that would be on that list somewhere. Something along the lines of, should I continue to fight for this? Or will they fight for this? There's a time and a place for everything, dude. Okay? Time and a place for everything. But when it comes to love, love is not something that you should have to fight for. Okay? The line's not very fine either, y'all. It's not a fine line. It's a pretty definitive fucking line between working on a relationship and fighting for a relationship. Do you believe that the universe is such a dumbass that the one person that it picked out to be your divine life partner is somebody that you would have to fight to keep in your life? Does that sound like your divine life partner? Somebody that you have to fight to keep in your life? I promise you it's not. Now, that doesn't mean that the connection is not meaningful. That doesn't mean the two of you weren't supposed to come together for some reason. That's a different topic for a different time. If you come to me for a personal reading, the first thing I look at is the soul contract. First thing. So why did you all come together? And did it serve its purpose successfully? It's the first thing I look at. No matter what your situation is, no matter what your questions are, no matter who did what, no matter what did who, it's the first thing I look at. But I normally don't like to go there for a general reading sometimes, but most of the time I don't go there. But yeah, don't fight a battle. If there's somebody in your life that you have to fight for, you might want to ask yourself, is this really somebody I need in my life? Do I want to fight for the rest of my life? All right. Now let's see if there's anything new coming in for the first week of June. Anything new coming in for Taurus, first week of June? Anything new? Anything new coming in? Boom. Ooh, King of Cups. Well, there's definitely somebody that got feelings for you. Oh, they definitely somebody interested in you. Are they coming in, though? That's the thing. We got 3 kings in the upright. And the Lover's card reversed, though. Okay. Well, they definitely somebody that's interested in you. 100%. 100%. But I don't know, for some of you, they may already be in a relationship, possibly. It's kind of what this feels like. I hate to get too specific like that. They're either already in a relationship or they're tied up in some other kind of situation with somebody else in some way, shape, form, or fashion. But, yeah, I'm not seeing a lot of movement here, though. Some of you may know who I'm talking about. The signs I have on the table are Aries, Leo again, Gemini. Again, it could be anybody. Those are just energies. I don't know if that rings a bell or not, but yeah, it's kind of looking like there's somebody that's interested in you, but they're not making a move for whatever reason. And again, I think it has to do with somebody else. With the 2 of Pentacles, Tower reverse, Lover's card, that feels to me like they're trapped in an on and off toxic fucking cycle with somebody else. But, yeah. So, okay. All right. Doesn't look like there's a lot of movement happening here, though. Doesn't look like a solid decision is being made. All right. Okay. Well, let's just grab the advice for this then. What's the advice? What's the advice for Taurus for the first week of June? What's the advice? Boom, 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 boom. Oh. Fell on the floor. 10 of Pentacles reversed. That's a strange piece of advice. Hang on. This may be... Yeah, this is one of those advice spreads that's... This is just going to be random miscellaneous pieces of advice. So I'm just going to chuck them and, whatever resonates, take it. What don't, just chuck it. So, we've already talked about this. 5 of Wands reversed. Okay? Do not fucking fight for anybody to be in your life. Work on it. Oh, all day. All day. 100%. You should absolutely work your ass off for a relationship. But it's a definitive fucking line between working on it and fighting for it. Okay? Don't allow materialistic shit to play too much of a role on influencing your opinion. I'm wording this very carefully. I am not one of those fake spiritual public figures that's going to stand up here and try to preach that money is bad. That is so stupid when people do that. I'm not saying that money and material things are bad. No, they are not. No, they are not. I'm all for it. Go fucking chase that bag, get your money, buy your toys, have whatever fun experiences you want. I'm 100% for that. What I'm not 100% for is putting that above all other things. When that rules you, and when people allow materialistic shit to influence their opinion on a relationship 100%, then that's when we get problems. Because that can change. That can all change. If somebody is too broke, well, then what I'm going to look at is, are you goal oriented? Because we can change that. We can come together, build a business together, and build an empire together. You know, let's say somebody's rich. Well, that could change too. I don't care how much you have, the universe can rip the rug out from under anybody. Anybody. So again, I'm not saying don't pay attention to it at all. I'm just saying don't put that on the top of the priority list. Watch out for people who are extremely fucking love bombing. Okay? Watch out. Pay attention. Whenever you meet any new person, and for some reason in the world, you can't figure out why, but they just make you feel like the most amazing fucking person that ever walked on 2 legs. Watch out for that. Watch out for that. That can be a red flag. Because 9 times out of 10, if you meet somebody brand new, you don't know them, and they're making you feel that way, they're making everybody else feel that way too. Okay, not 100% of the time, about 95 to 98% of the time, they're making everybody else feel like that too. They're master manipulators. They know exactly what to say at the right time. They know how to say it. They know when to say it. And that's how they butter you up and get you all soft and mushy and ooey gooey, let your guard down, and you know the rest. Okay? All I'm saying is watch out for it. I'm not saying run from it. I'm just saying don't fall victim to it. Watch out for it. Don't be afraid to take a few steps back. Don't fight the death process. I don't know who needs to hear this. If you feel the universe starting to alter the trajectory of your path, that can be scary. Don't fight it. If the universe is trying to nudge you in a different direction and you fight against it, and the universe nudges harder, and you fight against it harder, so the universe nudges you harder, so you fight against it harder, and the harder you fight against the universe, the harder it fights back. Take that as a sign. Okay, I guess I'm supposed to make a change here. All right, it kind of really seems like the universe isn't wanting me to go in this direction anymore. Kind of seems like it's wanting me to go in this direction. Okay, most tower moments, not all, but most, are completely fucking avoidable. The majority of tower moments are the result of fighting against the death process, where the universe is trying to alter the course of your path. It's trying to take the wheel, and you're fighting it. And it's trying to take the wheel, and you're fighting it. And eventually, the universe is going to grab the wheel and yank it, and you're going to crash into a brick wall. So don't fight that. Also, too, right now, and honestly, I think this is for everybody. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your sign is. Don't care why you're watching this video. I don't care if you're an Aries, Scorpio, Taurus, or Leo. Don't care if you're watching this for advice or if you're just a troll watching to try to fuck with me. Everybody needs to hear this, okay? Right now in the world, nothing is what it seems. Nothing. 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 I don't care what you see. I don't care what you hear on the news. I don't care what you hear all the social media influencers talking about. I don't care what you see happening in politics. Nothing. Nothing. Nothing is what it seems. Nothing. So try not to judge what's happening right now. Right now, we are all right smack dab in the middle of a very, very strategically and deliberately planned and controlled dismantling and reset of the old system. Very strategic, very deliberate. Nobody is granted full access to all of the details of exactly what is happening, how it's going to happen, and when. Nobody. Nobody. Not the most world-renowned channelers and psychics. Nobody. Because this timeline is so fucking tedious that we humans would completely sabotage the path. Things have to unfold in a very specific way in order for us to make this shift. Okay? So do the best you can whenever you hear of some stupid shit happening in politics or with some countries' leaders or presidents or prime ministers or Congress, Senate, and all this bullshit. Just don't pay attention to it. Don't pay attention to it. I would just scroll past the shit. If you can't control your energy. Just know that nothing is what it seems. Don't be so quick to judge what's happening right now. I promise you, 5 years from now, in May 2030, you're going to look back and realize that none of us had a fucking clue what was going on. None of us. And it's done that way on purpose. On purpose. We can't afford to have anybody sabotage this path right now, okay? All right, y'all. I feel like those were the messages that my Taurus family needed to hear, so I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thanks again for tuning in and playing along. Don't forget the information for personal readings is down there in the description. And don't forget, we only got a few more days until my course on how to read the tarot goes bye-bye. June 1st, we're turning that course off, okay? So if you're catching this on time and you're interested, the link is in the description. And I don't know what course I'm coming out with next. I know I'm working on a new one right now, but I don't know which one I'm releasing for the month of June yet. We're going to figure that out on the fly, okay? So, all right, y'all, I'm out of here. I'll see you sometime between now and the rest of all eternity. Stay blessed.